Oh, yeah. Good morning to you. I got to ask you a question. Do you know what it feels like to be pleasantly surprised, incredibly surprised, totally overwhelmed with joy when you find some baseball cards? It's like this.
I found some baseball cards. Yes, I found some baseball cards.
So, myself and Bob, the card enabler, we're planning to go to Jackson, Michigan this last Saturday on the 22nd. And there was a sports card show there. And that's the way it was billed earlier in the year. At least that's the way it looked to me when I was online and looking at stuff. And really what it did is it claimed to be a collectible show with sports cards. And that's kind of the way I looked at it, as it's a sports card show. Well, when we got there and pulled into the parking lot, I noticed a lot of people walking in and out of the place. They didn't have the little Zion cases. And I said something to my friend Bob, and I said, I don't see Zion cases. What gives? Are we in the right place? So we go in and realize that we are in the right place because they were selling tickets to Darrell Evans autographs. And I went, oh, well, this is the place. Go in the corner, we pay our fee, we go in, and this is what we walked into. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that, well, it's all cool. It's all cool stuff, but we don't collect that stuff. And we drove 2 counties over to look at some baseball cards, and so I'm feeling a little disappointed, a little dejected. And maybe I've wasted my time, and worse yet, I've wasted my card enabler pal Bob, his time, because it took him 2 hours to get to my house. Feeling a little bit bad, so we kept walking around and looking at all of this stuff. There were everything here from collector's t-shirts to candy to statues. You look, I'm just going through a little bit of it. And then from across the room, and that was a big room at this exhibit center in Jackson, Michigan, which was at the fairgrounds, the Jackson County Fairgrounds. So feeling just a little despondent now, and I glance across the table that contains the One Piece and the Pokemon and the Magic the Gathering cards that were here, and I see a bobbing head doll of the Detroit Tigers. And then right next to that, I see a vendor box, a Topps vendor box. And I went, hey, there's baseball cards over there. And there we go. Here we are. Baseball cards. Exactly what we were looking for. And not just any baseball cards, lots of vintage. Lots of vintage. In fact, I didn't see a whole lot of modern stuff, but that's okay. I was looking for a few modern things, but it's okay not to get those. I can get those just about anywhere. It's the vintage stuff that you got to really poke around and try to find. And then we found some, and here's what I want to do is I want to show you my pickups from the show. And before we get going, I didn't take a lot of money with me. I didn't plan on spending a lot of money because, like I said in the past video, I have been a little bit buying moratorium right now. I'm trying not to buy too much going into the holiday. So I didn't take much with me. And I was not expecting to find anything, and I was looking for just one card. I was looking for one card. And I will show you that card in a moment. What I did find out from the very first place we went to is he had a lot of these packs, a lot of unopened packs. So I bought 5 of them. I dropped this one on the floor over here. I haven't picked it up yet. So I have 2 of these. I got a couple of these leaf cards, different series. And then I picked this up. It's got some chatter marks on it. And that wasn't like that when I bought it. I shoved it into my pocket, and I think I opened it up with it scraping against something. So we're going to open this up. In fact, we might just open all of these up on the next 2-pack-a-day Ripper, which is coming up, okay? This will be open first because it's partially open, and I want to see what's in there. So that was my first purchase. From the very same table, I ran across something else. I ran across this album, and the album was for the bubblegumless baseball cards provided by the Detroit Free Press in that magazine that always used to come out back in the days. What was that called? That was like Parade Magazine, I think. Detroit Magazine. Okay, Detroit Magazine. And what you did with these bubblegumless cards is they gave you the front of the card, and then they gave you the back of the card, and you cut them out of this album, stuck them together with glue, your favorite glue, or you could have taped them, I suppose. And then you'd have a card that didn't come with bubble gum. and it was of the Detroit Tigers from 1968. Here it is right here. So anyway, I saw that and I looked at my friend Bob. I said, there is something you never, ever see, especially at a card show of this size. It's not very big, but that's pretty unique. And I thought that was really cool. It was way out of my price range. But I just admired it, and I showed it to my friend Bob. And I walked down two cases down, and I looked down. I'm just gathering them up here, so hang on just a second. I see a stack of these. These are the bubble gumless cards all cut out of the album. They were cut out of the album. This is something you never see. I have been trying to get a hold of these. In fact, I've got one. I only purchased one, and I'll show you that at the end here. But I picked these up, and they were very affordable. And I picked up all the stars that he had, the big Tiger stars from '68. But let me show you how it worked. There's your front of your card. That's what you cut out. Now, just what really makes these are cool is these are on the back, or these were coming out of that magazine, that Detroit magazine. So it's actually like the back part of some articles. Here's the front of the card. Here's the back of the card. It's got stats. It's got a drawn picture there of freehand. And on the back, it's got an advertisement for some betting. So it would look like this. Or, better yet, this. These I've been trying to collect for a while. They're made of newsprint. They're going to get damaged. These are not damaged. These are beautiful, cut out of one of those albums in recent times, and they're absolutely beautiful. I've taken them out of the package, the original top loaders they had, and I put them in plastic just to give them a little more rigidity, and then put them in these because they're not going to move around in these. So there's freehand. Here's Jim Northrup. And here's Mr. Northrup's back. Look at those stats. The back of this one just has some more newspaper article type things. The back of this one is so cool. It's some kind of a comic of Northrup and who is that there? Stanley. Mickey Stanley. They got him little cartoon forms. I thought that was cute. But that's just the coolest thing. Then one of the Tiger's great pitchers, Mickey Lulich. Another beautiful card. Here's the back. Another advertisement on the back here, and then another one on the back here. But this is probably part of the sports section because there's Dick McAuliffe up there, and who's the other guy there? Mickey Lulich, and partially cut out. You can see little cartoons on the bottom. Last one. You know who you know me. You know I like one of the great pitching coaches of all time, one of the greatest. I had to get him because this was the Tigers pitching coach from the 1968 team, Johnny Sain. This is the back. These were so affordable, so affordable. I didn't pay more than $15 for the most expensive one, and that was freehand. The others were 10, and this one was 7. That is crazy because here's the reason why. The only one of these cards I actually had was this one. And this one, along with that one, because this is the back of that one. This is the Norm Cash card. This was a $45 bunch right here. The two of them together were $45, not a piece. Now, I know you're paying for the grading on it, but I just thought this was really cool, and I was going to buy it, and maybe just leave it at that. This is going to be the only version of these cards I get. Little did I know, I'd walk into some obscure show in Jackson, Michigan, and I was able to pick up some of the big stars, and I got them cheap, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And my dog at the beginning, that's how I felt, because the next thing I did is I walked down further, and I wished I'd have gotten the gentleman's name. He is one of the guys that conducts shows across this area, I guess the Midwest, and he handles Daryl Evans, Denny McClain, Doug Bear, all those guys. If you want to get them as signers, you talk to this guy, and he's the one that gets that all set up, and he sets up shows all over. And he's from Cincinnati, and I don't get his name. I forgot it. He had the card that I've been looking for, that one card that I've been looking for literally for a year and a half. Found a couple versions of it. I did not like them. 2 of them were graded. I don't want it graded because it's going to go into my set and into a binder. And I didn't want to pay that upcharge for that. And besides, the 2 that I saw that were graded had rounded corners, and they weren't very good shape, and they were way more expensive than this one. So this gentleman from Cincinnati, if he's ever watching this, or if you know who he is, I apologize for not getting his name, but that is the card I picked up. This is what I've been looking for. And it's a nice, nice version of it. There's a little bitty crease here that you can't pick up with a naked eye. You got to pick it up and reflect it in the light. He had $50 on it. I said, would you take 40? He goes, I'll take 45. And I said, let's do it. Look at that. That is a beautiful card. I'm going to take it out of here because the price tag I left down there, I forgot. So you get a real nice look at it. Oh, yeah. Kind of went out of focus, didn't it? We'll give it just a couple more seconds. Still a little blurry, but we'll look at it. I've been looking for this literally for a year and a half. It's the last big money card. When I say big money, $40, $50, $60 card from the set from 64 that I needed. All the rest are commons or minor stars or leader cards and team cards and stuff like that. This is the last big price card that I was going to have to pay for. And I've got it. And when I did my hobby hunt earlier, my hobby hunt update, told you about all the other cards that I picked up from 64. Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, Roger Maris, all the rest of them. Now this one as well. And that's it. That's my pickup. And I did not plan on even doing a video with this. It's just that when I got in there and kind of went through the beginning of this where I wasn't very happy with what I was seeing and then got to these cards, I said, I'm going to buy these and I'm going to go home and I'm going to cut me a video and I'm going to put it up because I'm as happy as I can be. And unlike my dog, if I had a tail, I'd be wagging it. I'm that happy. Talk soon.
Cardboard meditation helps set your mind right. Thank you for watching. Show us your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell while you're at it so you'll know when we upload a new story.